If you can imagine that lobby, it was electric. They were so excited to see the characters come to life that they knew from the books that they had been read and the movie that they had seen, and it's really indescribable to see the joy on the faces of the children.
Isn't it wonderful to give them the gift of this? I love it. I love it. All the other teachers love it. The chaperones, all the parents that were able to come. In the moment, of course, they're excited and they love it, and we come back and they talk about it. Months later, I'll hear a couple of kids at the water fountain say, "Hey, do you remember when we went to see Shrek? Do you remember that when we made that big collage?" And they'll talk about the special effects because they can't believe it's happening in real time on a stage and live.
The middle school students are invited and brought by bus. It is really eye-opening to see them. They can actually interact with the performers sometimes. Listening to them ask questions of the performers and see what they can get from that is amazing. These are kids that come back to our office too and tell us that they have decided to try dance, ballet, or singing in the school performance.
I really think that Dance Theater of Harlem is an institution that's very iconic. It has a rich history, and we're able to bring the historic element, but also a lot of fun. As much as the arts are important for communities, it really brings out the joy, the inner joy and hope. And I think that's something that kids need in this world today, and dance and keep that alive and bring it forward into the next generation.
For a child to have a well-rounded education, they've got to go see things out in the world. If we don't expose them at school, they won't know they exist. And if they don't know they exist, they could be missing out on one of the most wonderful things of their life, whether they want to be a part of it on stage or backstage, or whether they just want to go, attend, and enjoy.
I was a part of a reading with the conductor for the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra, John Morris Russell. We did a reading with the IU Philharmonic Orchestra. The experience was just once in a lifetime. To be able to work with a conductor of that caliber was definitely something that was enriching and fulfilling.
When you are in a facility that engages you in a way where you're working with the great masters that are working with people that you think are completely out of reach, but maybe are not so far through this type of networking, it was first in that way an extraordinary experience, but on top of that, he has such a large personality. And this was a reading session, so it wasn't in front of a large audience, it was a rehearsal that was an activity through the residency, and he made it something that was worthy of a performance.
We had folks that went to one of our senior living communities. I know that they sang songs with those people and they talked about the music from the 50s, and the feedback that we had from that event was so powerful. When I learned of that event and knew what had happened, it just really tugged at my heartstrings that we are willing to go out into the community for people of all ages and have them have a special moment in their life.
They absolutely loved it. They loved coming out. They actually loved being out at night because a lot of times we don't have an evening outing. And so they got to dress up and come to a show and feel connected again to the IU community. We have graduates from IU living in our facility. And so there was a real sense of belonging and then reconnecting again with just the community of, Monroe County, Bloomington.